Welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat if I'm visible as well as equally audible? Then we would start right away. Let me just turn on my preview screen so that I know that I'm visible. Okay, I'm fairly visible. If you face any disturbance in the audio, I would correct it. Okay. Thanks a lot, thanks a lot, thanks a lot, Krishna, thanks a lot, Amar, thanks a lot, Pratul. Okay. So how many questions were you able to solve? Can I have a quick feedback from you all? Okay, the number of live viewers is absolutely 45 at the moment. So I expect you that you can just like the video. Okay, so today we would be discussing the interview series of Amazon, which was scheduled on 23rd of January 2022, and the contest was from 7 to 8 p.m. IST. And the first question was maximum sum without adjacents, and next was the palindrome pairs. Now let's move to the first problem itself. Sorry, but got TLE. Okay, so we are given an array of size n containing positive integers. So every element of the array is greater than 0. And suppose ARR is equals to 6. So this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3, this is index 4, and this is index 5. So in total there are 6 elements, and you need to find the maximum sum of subsequence such that no two numbers in the sequence should be adjacent in the array. Okay, so what do we mean by this? This means that suppose there is 1, 2 and 3. So if I take this element, then I can't take this element. Okay, and if I take this element, I can't take this element. Okay, so basically क्या हो रहा है कि अगर हम ये वाला एलिमेंट कंसिडर कर रहे हैं तो ये वाला एलिमेंट हम कंसिडर नहीं कर सकते. ओके, सो बीच वाला एलिमेंट कंसिडर किया, इसके आगे पीछे हम कंसिडर नहीं कर सकते. आइदर आगे वाला कंसिडर कर लो, पीछे वाला कंसिडर ना करो, आइदर पीछे वाला कंसिडर करो, आगे वाला ना कंसिडर करो. Fair enough? These are the only two possible ways. Now to solve this, what we can do is the first case itself. The first case would be taking that element into consideration. The first element would be selecting the current element. The first way. And the second way is that we ignore the current element, rather focus on the other elements. Okay, so we ignore the current element and we focus on other elements. Okay, so now the thing is that, so if we just see that this element is getting selected 110, how is this 110 coming? Okay, yeah, fair enough. So can you just please like the video if possible? Okay, so we can select the current. So this is the two possible ways. So if we just select this element, then we can't select this element, rather we can select this element and then we can select this element. So 5, 10 and 10 is equals to 25. Then if we select this element, then we can't select this element, rather we can only select this element and this element. So if you just observe, then this element and this element is equal to 100 plus 5 plus 5, which is equals to 110. Then we have 13 itself. So what can be done is 10 and then 2. Okay, 2 plus 10 is equals to 12, which is less than 13. So how is this value coming? Okay, this value is coming 7 plus 3. So these two are not adjacent. Okay, then we have the value 13 itself. Okay, so now to solve this problem, I got a very intuitive one. Okay, so if there are no elements, if n is equals to 0, okay, if n is equals to 0, then if there is no element, there is nothing to consider or not to consider, so we would simply return 0. if there is only one element, we would return 0. Okay, and if there is two element, we would either take the maximum of one element or the second element. Both of them maximum would be our answer itself. Okay, suppose we take the first element, then then we can't take the second element. If we take the second element, we can't take the first element. Fair enough. So what I did was I immediately thought about a DP state. So n is equals to 0, we would return that. If n is equal to 1, we would return the first value. If n is equals to 2, we would take the maximum of front two values. Okay, then I made a DP array of size n, and dp0 would be the first value and dp of 1 would be the maximum of two value, and then we would start from the third position. Okay, so if I take, suppose this is a0, this is a1, this is a2, and this is a3 itself. Okay, so if I take this particular value, then I can only move to, suppose this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, then I can only take this value. So this can be done like this value plus the values which was there, or else what we can do is we can just ignore the present value and we can take out the last value which we encountered, and we can do that. This is what we would do, and we would fill the remaining values and then we would return the last value. Okay, so basically मैं समझाता हूँ, अगर कुछ एलिमेंट है नहीं तो कंसिडर क्या करेंगे भाई मेरा, just 0 रिटर्न कर दो. If there is only one element, then एक एलिमेंट को रिटर्न कर दो. Okay, this is your maximum, take it. If there are two elements, then दोनों में से कौन सा बड़ा, ये बड़ा है, इसको रिटर्न करो. Okay, and we are considering only one element, and then we have a big DP array to fill. The 0th value would be filled by the first value, and the second value would be filled by the maximum of the 0 and 1. Okay, and then we move forward. Now if we take the current value that we are standing at this position, then I can't take the previous value, rather उसके पीछे भी जाना है, तो I minus 2 कर दिए. So current value plus I minus 2. Okay, एक बीच में gap है, I minus 2 and current value. Or else what we can do is just the previous value, we don't consider the current value. Okay, now this is the whole code of it. Now tell me if this thing is clear. Talking about the complexity, the time complexity of the solution is big O of n, and the space complexity is also big O of n. But if you just observe, which I didn't do, why? Because this is quite well intuitive, so that's why I didn't do it. If you just observe, then you can handle these all cases explicitly, and if you just see the previous values are not required, rather the last value is only required. So you can just take three variables, and you can just do it, and the variables are constant. So ignoring the constant, the space complexity would be big O of 1, that is constant itself. Yeah, so now tell me if this thing is clear or not. Then we would move to the next problem. Not made mistakes, so not got deducted. Okay, fair enough. But question says that space must be big O of 1. Yeah, space must be big O of 1, but the intuition matters more. That is why I didn't take the big O of 1 solution, rather I took the big O of n solution into consideration. Two variable instead of array, and then we can have big O. This is simple, quite enough simple. Just दो value याद तो रखना ही है. The current value and the previous value if we ignore the middle value. This is just this, and we don't need the whole array because whole array हमें चाहिए ही नहीं. Okay, so the steps are, first you build the recursive solution of this, then you write the iterative version, and then you see that the DP array is not that much required, so I can do it using variables, and you would be able to do it using variables. Can you explain the for loop again? Yeah, why not? I'm there to explain you. Okay, so let's take the for loop into consideration. Okay, fair enough. So now this first one, if the array has only one element, then we would return the first element. If the array has two elements, this is 0, this is 1. If the array has two elements, then this would be the max of both the values. Okay, now we would come to the third element. Third element में एक लोचा है. Okay, we have to ignore, अपनी क्रश को ignore करो या उसे प्रपोज कर दो. ओके अगर प्रपोज किया तो उसके सारे एक्सेस को भगाना पड़ेगा, फेयर इनफ। सो करंट वैल्यू प्लस सपोज ये मेरे आगे है एक मेरे पीछे है, ओके सो एक वैल्यू यहां लिया, सपोज दिस इज आई, this is I minus 1, this is I minus 2, and I can't take me. Why? Because the adjacent values can't be taken. So I can take me and I minus 2, or else what we can do is जो पहले से आ रहा है ना I minus 1 तक उसे ही ले लो, इग्नोर कर दो ना, सख्त लौंडे हो भाई साहब। Okay, now tell me if this thing is clear or not, then we would move to the next problem. Aniket Kumar, did you understand this? John, Aryan Saha, Harsha, Biras, were you able to understand this? If you are not able to understand, I would be more than happy to explain again. But you need to let me know quickly. Okay, so let's just have a upper bound to this weighting. Okay, countdown of 1.5 minutes. Okay, now just let me know if this is clear or not. Siddharth, please answer my question. Can I take two for loops, one for I is equals to 0 and second one for I is equal to 1, and take the maximum of these two iterations? Yeah, you can do that. Why can't you do that? But the time complexity, if you use two nested loops, the time complexity would be big O of n square. So that's why it won't pass. You need to build a big O of n solution. Okay. Any more queries you have? I have tried the same thing in recursion and passed the test cases but got time limit exceeded. Yeah, you need to memorize the recursive solution. We can go for the second solution. Okay, we can go for the second solution. How many of you want to go to the second solution? The second solution was on the bit tougher side, but it was absolutely very interesting. But that is giving wrong answer because you are considering the case where I and j are same. Okay, so you need to tell that if I is equal to j, then we need to continue from that point. Okay, any other way to solve? I didn't find any other way to solve. This is the most simple way. Can we have a greedy solution for this? How can you have greedy solution? It might be the case that you are selecting the current index, but it might be the case that the previous index was more beneficial. So if there are multiple test cases to consider, you can't go with a greedy solution. Okay, fair enough. Let's move to the second solution. What is this? We are given an array of strings, okay, of size n, and find if there exist two strings I and j where I is not equal to j, such that ARR of I plus ARR of j is a palindrome, and the concatenation of the string ARR I plus ARR j results into palindrome. Now tell me what is a palindrome? A palindrome is a word which reads the same from the front to the back. Okay, so front is equal to back itself. Okay, suppose it is A, B and then again A. If we see the mirror image of this would be again A, B, A. So if we start comparing this is equal to this is equal to this is equal to this is equal to this, and this is equal to this. So even if we flip the position, then this would be same. Okay, fair enough. This is what is told. Yeah, hash map, I thought, then I opted for DP. Yeah, okay. Isha Mishra, can you tell me the line number where you did not understand? This is the thing. Just tell me the line number. Okay, just tell me the line number where you did not understand. Take a screenshot of this and tell me. Okay, so results into palindrome. Okay, fair enough. So now let's remove and let me tell you how to get a palindrome. Suppose it is mentioned that we have A, B, A, and then suppose again B and then again A. So what we can do is we can compare the first and the last character. Okay, they are same. So we would be moving forward. Then the second character and the second last character, we would be seeing if they are same or not. Then the middle character. Now this is same. Even if this is different, A, D, A, B, A. So even if this is the case and this is the case, then this would be same only. So middle element does not flip. See, ऐसे होता है ना, this is here. So if we just flip, this would be at this position only. This won't go away. Okay, middle element would be there. Okay, this is why we are telling this. Okay, now we would see that if geek F, is there anyone who is having the palindromic version of geek F? Okay, now can you quickly like the video, because the number of live viewers are hide the user on this channel, and yes, so by the way, the number of live viewers are 60, but the number of likes is absolutely very less. So consider doing that, okay, if possible. So now we have geeks F. So if we just see geeks F can be paired with K, E, E, G. So let me just see G, E, E, K and then F, and then this K, E, E and again G. Now if you just see G is equal to G, E is equal to E, then E is equal to E, K is equal to K, and this is the middle element, which is absolutely the same. Okay, now this is equal to this, this is equal to this, this is equal to this, this is equal to this. That's why we can say that this is a palindrome that exists, and if there is a palindromic pair that exists, we would return 1. Okay, now is the question clear to you or not? Because if you don't get the question, then there is no point in moving forward. So quickly tell me if you understand the question itself or not. By the way, someone was asking me any doubts from the previous question. So quickly tell me the doubts and I would resolve it right away. Sir, my DP solution was correct, but I don't know why it proved wrong for some test cases. I think you have not explicitly handled for 0, 1 and 2. I think. Most probably. Okay, fair enough. Now let's move to the next. Okay, so for this problem, what we need to do? We can do is, we can take hold of the first character and then we can iterate on the list of the character, add it to the current string, and then we can see if the current string is a palindrome or not. So basically what we need to do is, we have A, B, C, D, E and F. So we can take hold of this A, then we can append B to it, and then we can see if this is a palindrome or not. We can take hold of AC, then we can see if this is a palindrome or not. At any point, if we find that this is a palindrome, we would return 1 itself. Then we have a D. So if we just merge A and D, then we need to just check if this is palindrome or not. Then A and E. So this is just like having a nested loop. Okay, nested loop like this. Okay, so this is why we are doing this. Okay, so now the time complexity to this solution is big O of n square. Why? Because in the worst time complexity, we need to consider every string for a particular string. So if we have A, B, C and then we have F, G and K. So for A we can consider these 3, for B we can consider this 3, and for C we can consider this 3. So for every element we are doing n iterations. So for n elements we would be doing n square iterations. Okay. So sir, please explain those explicit text case. Fair enough. Let me explain you that explicit test case. So if the number of element is 0, then किसको compare करोगे? आपको हम कुछ देंगे तब ना आप compare करोगे. Okay? So कुछ है ही नहीं compare करने को. So we would return 0. अगर एक element दे दिया, अगर एक ही element है तो इसमें क्या compare करना मेरे भाई? Just उसी को return कर दो. We would return this. अगर 2 element है, so this element can also be considered. This element can also be considered. So what we would do is, we would take the max of both. Now these are the 3 test cases that you need to handle explicitly, and you would be able to solve the problem. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Now let's move to solving this. So what we would do is, we would try to solve this problem using try data structure. Okay, so try data structure, what is try data structure? Try data structure is absolutely nothing but where we build a repository of a particular string itself, and then we try to find the pair of it. शॉर्ट में समझा जाए तो when you see a XOR problem, when you see a string problem, then the first thing that you can consider is having a try on the try data structure. Okay, fair enough. So let's first talk about how to build a try. How is try built? So try is built very easily. First, we have a class of try node. Basically, I copied this using my GitHub repository. Then we have an index. Then for each node, basically this is like this. Suppose we have A, B, C, then we have A, B, D, the A, B, D, and then we have A, C, A itself. Okay. So how to represent this using try? So first we have A, then we would move to B, then we would move to C, and in this way the nodes would be there. Now we would have, okay, we would have from A to B, A and B is there. From B we can go to D also. So wherever we need to go, we can go. Then we have A, C and again A. So A, C and again A. This is how. Okay, so if this thing is there, okay, so if this thing is there, suppose I want to search if A, B, C is present or not, what I would do is, I would come forward to this A, then I would move to B. If there is a node to C, I would go towards it. Okay, this is it. Now this is how we can do it. Okay, so first what we would do is, we would declare a tree node with the index as -1. Then for each index we would have 26 childrens. 26 childrens, why? Because they are lowercase alphabets from A to Z itself. Okay, now what we would do is, let me make it a little big. Okay, now we would say this after a couple of minutes. First we would try to build this one. Okay, so how to add a node in a tree? Suppose we have A, we have B, sorry, this is B, and we have C itself. Okay, and I want to add A, B and C. Okay, so we would go from the last index, what dot size -1. Okay, first we would check if it is a palindrome or not. If it is a palindrome, we would push it index, and if no node is available at this point, suppose we moved from A to B and C is not there, so we would make a new try node and we would append that, and we would move forward to this one. Okay, and we would keep updating the index, and we would keep updating back the indexes itself. So we would say, yes, this is a palindrome inserted, this is a palindrome inserted, this is a palindrome inserted. Okay. Then we would start the searching part, if an word is present or not. So what we would do is, we would take hold of the root. Okay, then we would go to the word dot size, that is, we are assigning it to the n itself. Okay, now two things should be there. There should be a node where we are heading first, and then we should have something to search. कुछ चाहिए search करने के लिए, और वहाँ node भी होना चाहिए. Okay, so if there is a node available, and if it is not equal to I and it is a palindrome, then only move to that point. Okay, we would move to that point. If the node is true, we would move. And while palindrome, this is just like checking a palindrome. Suppose we have A, B, A, so we would have L and R. So L and R is like this. We would check if this is same, then we would check these two are same, then we would check the middle element, and this is what we are doing. If there is any mismatching character, we would return false. If else we have successfully iterated over all the elements, then we would return true. This is the simple explanation of this. Now what this would do is we would add this word first with the flag as 0. Okay, then we would try to search the particular word. If we are able to search the particular word, this flag would be made 1, that is true, and we would return true. If it is not 1, then we would return 0 itself. Okay, this is what we need to do. Sir, I have done it using maps. Send the if possible paste bin or somewhere. Actually, I can't paste code. I can't paste links in the YouTube chat. That is why. So explain me a solution in Google Meet and I would provide you the optimal support. Okay. Now tell me if all this is clear or not. We would take help of a try data structure. We would try to build up that thing. Okay. If the reverse of that is present, we would say that yes, your partner is present. This is your partner. And if we want to print it, what we can do is we can go to the leaf node and we can just insert I and that. And the brute force approach to this is that we would stand at each person and we would try to find a partner. This is your partner, this is your partner, this is your partner, this is your partner. And we would move forward. This is your partner, this is your partner, this is your partner. No, these are not. Then we would move forward. This is your partner, this is your partner, this is your partner. No, this is not. If we are not able to find a partner, we would return 0. Else we are able to find a partner, we would return 1. Now tell me if this thing is clear or not. I would start a countdown of 2 minutes and you can ask me as many doubts as possible. Is there any other method than try? Okay, I was observing the Python code for this problem and it was using a hash set or something. But as I'm not well versed with Python, so I didn't consider looking at that. And to be honest, I was running a little bit late today. Why? Because having these all setups, having everything in hand, you can't stand up and having the LAN wire inserted in it. So everything requires a bit of heavy setup, to be honest. Okay. And if everything goes well, planning to buy a new member. Okay. So I see no doubts coming in. So let's make this session as a ask me anything session. So now you can ask me anything. Okay, AMA. Sorry for my absolutely bad handwriting. Now you can literally ask me anything you like and I would be telling you. Try and the brute force solution have different time complexity because site shows that they have same. No, the try and the brute force solution don't have the same time complexity. Why? Because for the brute force solution, for every pair we would be trying to find the next pair of it. So that is for every elements we would be iterating on n elements. So for one element we would be doing n operations. So for n elements we would be doing n square operation. Sir, how did you store the try data structure? So let's go to the storing part and I would explain you the storing thing. Okay, this is where we are storing this particular result. So storing is absolutely easy, to be honest. Why? Because see, suppose we have A, okay, we have B and we have C, and then we want to insert A, B and A. So I would first go to A. A is already present. Okay, it is already present. We would move forward. Then B is also present. So we would move forward. Then we are trying to find A, but A is not present. So what we would do is we would append a new node A and we would come to this point only. Okay, and we would keep incrementing and keep going down. Sir, how to improve? Scored 0 marks. Just keep going. Just keep going. This is a process and this process is to be enjoyed by you. Just keep going. When in a week habit building workshop happens in a day? So actually habit building workshop was scheduled to be done yesterday, but due to I was just feeling very sleepy, to be honest, and habit building workshop is scheduled late at night so that it doesn't clashes with anyone's of schedules. So that is why recursion lecture of habit building would be done today. Yeah, recursion. How to learn ad hoc, can't find any resource. So ad hoc problems can be done by going to code forces and giving the tag as constructive, and you can start solving the problems. You would find a lot of ad hoc problems, to be honest. And then you can move to math problem, then you can move to data structures problem, then you can move to DSU, then you can move to graph, and then you can move to recursion, then you can move to backtracking, then you can move to tree and linked list, then you can move to DSU or something. Okay, segment trees and all can be done afterwards itself. Okay, so I see no more doubts popping in. So I think I can end this session now. So please increase the like counter, please increase. How you checked for palindrome? This is ABA. So this one, this is same, we would move forward. This one, same, move forward. Suppose this one and this one is not equal. So what we would do is at this point only we would say that this is equal to false, return from this point. This is how we are checking the palindrome itself. How will we get the link of habit building workshop? I float the link in my Telegram group. I also have a Telegram group where I maintain a community of 85 people at present. Yeah, and if you need, and it takes some time to reply to everyone, but I try my level best to be active there. Okay, so actually in LinkedIn also I am not that much a frequent user of LinkedIn. So what you can do is you can just ask me my Telegram group link and I would provide you with that. And getting the link, you need to add me on LinkedIn. Just send me a request over LinkedIn and I would do the rest. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you and have a nice day. This is me, Siddharth Hazra, signing off. Good night. Keep hustling. Keep going. One day everything would be just easy for everyone. Okay. Thank you.